Lionel Messi. The name conjures images of impossible goals and breathtaking skill, but before the glory there was struggle. Many said he was too small, clubs turned him away, doctors gave him a diagnosis that could have ended his career before it began. He was just a boy, facing a mountain of doubt and rejection. The world saw a limitation. Messi saw a challenge. What made him keep going? It wasn't a single moment or victory, but a quiet determination and a love for the game that burned brighter than any setback. This isn't just a football story, it's about the human spirit's power to overcome. True strength isn't measured in size, but in heart and belief. To understand Messi, you have to go back to the beginning, Rosario, Argentina. His journey was never a straight line. It was filled with pain, detours, and moments where quitting seemed easier. For every no, there was a voice inside him that whispered, yes. This is the story of how a boy who was told he was too small became the greatest of all time. The real story of Messi is about resilience, not just trophies. Rosario, Argentina. A city of hard workers, where life isn't easy. In the humble neighborhood of Grandoli, Lionel Messi first fell in love with football. Shy and quiet, he found his voice on the pitch. The ball was his best friend. He played for hours, outsmarting bigger, stronger boys. His grandmother Celia was his first and fiercest supporter. She saw his magic before anyone else. Messi's family was loving but struggled financially. His father worked in a steel factory, his mother as a cleaner. They did everything to support his dream, even when it seemed impossible. The dream of becoming a professional felt distant, but the struggle forged his character. He learned the value of hard work and the importance of family. Messi's story is about belief, pain, and purpose. He didn't dream of fame, just the joy of playing. That pure love for the game became his shield against the world's harshness. Every morning he practiced, even when his body ached and his future was uncertain. The streets of Rosario were his first training ground, shaping his spirit as much as his skills. He carried his family's hopes and his own quiet ambitions. This humble beginning prepared him for the immense challenges ahead. As a child, Messi was always the smallest on the field. At first everyone thought he was just a late bloomer, but concern grew. He's brilliant, but he's too small. The phrase followed him everywhere. Local clubs hesitated. They saw risk, not reward. At 11, Messi was diagnosed with a growth hormone deficiency. Without treatment, he'd never reach the height needed to compete. The treatment was expensive, far beyond his family's means. Clubs in Argentina backed away, unwilling to pay for his treatment. The dream seemed to be slipping away. For most, this would be the end, but not for Messi. The pain of daily injections was nothing compared to the pain of not playing. This was a turning point. Would he let the diagnosis define him, or fight back? Messi and his family refused to give up. They searched for hope, even as doors closed. The answer would come from across the Atlantic. The next chapter of his journey was about to begin. Faced with uncertainty, Messi did what he knew best. He played football. The pitch was his sanctuary. His size became his secret weapon, low center of gravity, unmatched agility. He adapted, turning weakness into strength. Messi's belief in himself was unshakable. He trained harder than anyone, pouring frustration into practice. Every day, he gave himself growth hormone injections, a painful, lonely ritual that became a symbol of his commitment. Each injection was a promise. He would not be beaten. His father Jorge never stopped fighting, sending videos, making calls, searching for a club that valued talent above all. Together the family formed an unbreakable team. They refused to accept limits others placed on them. They needed just one chance to prove greatness isn't measured in centimeters. Messi's resilience was forged in these battles. On the pitch and within himself, the world was about to take notice. The chance came from Barcelona, Spain. Relatives arranged a trial. At 13, Messi and his father left everything behind for a single shot. The pressure was immense. This was likely his last chance. At the trial, Messi let his football do the talking. The coaches were stunned, but hesitation lingered. He was foreign, young, and his treatment was costly. Days passed with no offer. The family grew anxious. Then, in a tennis club cafeteria, Carlos Rexach, desperate not to lose Messi, wrote a contract on a napkin. That napkin became legendary, a symbol of belief. Barcelona agreed to pay for his treatment and welcome him into their academy. The gamble paid off. The door was finally open, but a new life in Spain would bring new challenges. Messi's journey was far from over. The real test was just beginning. Moving to Spain was a dream come true, but also the start of a difficult chapter. At 13, Messi was alone in a foreign country, missing his family. Homesickness was overwhelming. He often cried himself to sleep. Injuries plagued his early years at La Masia. His body was still fragile. He spent long periods sidelined, doubts creeping in. His shyness made him nearly invisible among teammates. He was overlooked, underestimated, and had to prove himself again and again. Messi channeled his loneliness and frustration into football. The pitch remained his sanctuary, his only way to express himself. Each obstacle fueled his determination. He learned self-reliance and mental toughness. These silent battles forged the resilience that would define his career. Messi was becoming unstoppable. What is the untold reason Messi never gave up? It wasn't fame or trophies, it was three powerful forces. First, pure love for football. Playing was his joy, his escape, his truest expression. Second, a silent promise to himself and his family. He couldn't let them or himself down. Third, the belief that greatness is about heart, not height. Messi turned his greatest weakness into his defining strength. He showed the world that heart, passion, and intelligence can triumph over brute force. His story teaches us to embrace our weaknesses, believe in ourselves, and persevere relentlessly. True greatness is achieved through willpower, not just talent. Sometimes all it takes is one opportunity, like a contract on a napkin. Messi's journey is a lesson for anyone told they're not enough. Never give up on your dream. The story isn't just about football, it's about the power of belief. And Messi's story is still being written.